This week's episode is sponsored by Change. Change is the #1 mentoring program that teaches you e-commerce from scratch. Change has a real community with real results. I have been working with Ryan for many years now and have attended many of his events and retreats across the world and got to meet members and the amazing community of like-minded people. Ryan works with a lot of big names in the business world, helping them build online businesses and e-commerce. Change offers personal one-on-one support, no experience needed, but like anything, this takes time and is not a get-rich-quick scheme. If you put the work in, you will get the results. E-commerce and online shopping is getting bigger and bigger. This is a great opportunity for anyone that is looking for financial freedom. For more information, go follow Ryan on Instagram at RyanJB, and he will guide you through the steps to help you get started and build a successful online business. You can now follow me on all my social media platforms to find out who my latest guest will be. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you're notified for when my next podcast goes live. And boom, we're on. And today's guest, we've got DeHaven Irby. How are we, DeHaven?
Oh, man, we good. We good, man. We blessed. I'm blessed, yo.
First and foremost, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me, bro.
Another fascinating story. Best friends with Jay-Z. You're on the streets, running around doing mad stuff, drugs. You've been in prison. You've been shot. You feel as if you've been kind of thrown under the bus. It's a very deep story, a personal story to you. You're trying to make amends and do stuff legit with your life, which is a good thing. You have a book coming out soon, which is a good thing. But this will be good for the UK audience to understand your story and your friendship with one of the biggest rappers on the planet. But before we get into everything, though, I always like to go back to the start of my guests.
Right.
To get more of a bit of understanding about you, where you grew up and how it all began.
Well, I'm from New York. I'm Brooklyn Projects, Brooklyn Marcy Projects. If you're familiar with Jay-Z's lyrics, that's where we from. Marcy Projects, growing up tough. Like any old neighborhood, ghetto, tough projects. A lot of violence, drugs, you know what I'm saying? But back then in that era, it was a lot of community. It was a lot of family. It was different. The generation was different. So that's what kept us out of trouble. I wasn't much as in trouble because, when I say living in the projects, right, it's like these 24 apartments in this projects, right? This is going to be your family. You get what I'm saying? When you come home from work, when your mom and your dad come home from work, everybody come home the same time. So you see these people every day, you know their children. So your building is your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you need anything, you can knock next door. You can go downstairs. You sleepovers in the building. So, when I speak about the projects in the community, this is how it was. Everything a kid to get into. You know what I'm saying? Me, personally, I was one of those type of kids that was, I was just born to hustle, bro. I was just born to hustle, and I started hustling at an early age. You know what I'm saying? To backtrack, well, me and Jay we come up from 4th grade together. So when people would be like, man, this story is just about any other, it's the same story of, this one and that one. But this is a little bit more deeper because, like I said, when we come up from the projects where, not just me and him was friends and brotherly, like our mothers was best friends, our sisters was best friends and stuff like that. So it's a little bit deeper than just any other story.
How hard was the struggle?
Man, when you say the struggle for us as children coming up, like, nah, it wasn't There wasn't no struggle. Our parents made sure we gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never would say I had to struggle coming up. I really never had to do sell drugs, and it wasn't no struggle. Some parents had it hard. Get it twisted. Jay and them family had it kind of more difficult than my family, but you didn't care. We didn't care because your building was your family. You know what I'm saying? So I never struggled for anything as a kid coming up. You know what I'm saying? So me saying I was struggling, I don't see it, because if I was hungry, I can go downstairs to the Spanish people house. If I was hungry, I can go next door. I was listening to that. So it wasn't more like a struggle. If you didn't have what the next kid had, you just didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing would happen. You'll get teased or whatever, but you also get took up for. Like, a lot of bullying, that shit wasn't going on back then because we was a bunch of kids in the same community.
What about dad?
Dad, I never seen him. Never met my dad, never seen my dad. As far as I'm concerned, my mom just telling me that, like, yo, my dad forced himself on her, and that's how I got here.
Did your mum work?
Yeah, my mom worked. She was a school crossing guard. She did that for a pretty long time, but she always dated what I say hustler guys and shit. So we, like I said, we always had, we've always had. So, you know what I mean? My mom, she's a good mom, man. Yo, and to be honest, man, everything I do and what I'm doing right now is for her. It's about her. It's for her. You understand? This story here, it impacted me to a point. If it was just me, if it was just some nigga shit, it's all right for me to say that. You know what I'm saying? If it was just some nigga shit in the streets, this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? I would have been able to let this shit go a long time ago. You feel what I'm saying? But being when I see how my family is so involved, you know what I'm saying? How it was plenty of nights where, where Jay got in trouble, where Jay was sick, when I had to go get my mom, and my mom get up and treat her like this was her son. You know what I'm saying? When I'm literally watching my mom going to the police station and say, yo, I'm here to get my son. You know what I'm saying? So when I think of that, you know what I'm saying? I just think like, nah, you're not going to disrespect the earth, my mom. If it was just me, you know what I'm saying? I could deal with it. And I watch my mom be hurt, watching me hurt behind this betrayal. So, you know what I'm saying? And my biggest thing with this whole project that I'm working on is actually, when I say for my mom, so she see me better at ease. She see me relax. She see me forgave all of that. She's at peace because she seen me at a time really angry, and that hurt her. So now that she see him, now I'm in a good space, and I'm a good person, and over that, you know what I'm saying? It relieves her.
But that's all parents want. That's all mothers want or fathers want for, well, good parents for their children. It's nothing to do with the money. It's nothing to do with the fame. But if you're coming from the sort of projects and all you see is misery, all you see is drugs and shootings and killings and prisons, that's all you're going to gravitate towards. But sometimes it's just peace of mind. Mums don't want that. Yes, it's great to give them the big house or the car and the money, but they would rather see you happy and at ease more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, she see, because, this put me in a dark space at a time. You know what I'm saying? It put me in a very dark space with just thinking about those guys, thinking about Jay and what he has done to me, thinking about his family and how they turned their back to me. And you will literally drive yourself crazy with the why. Why? Trying to figure out how could this person come into my house and get the love and get anything he want and forget about all of this? How could you put your life on the line, numerous of times, and it just will drive you literally nuts and shit, to a point where I could look at other people's careers, right, that was around them, that they've been betrayed, and they can't get back from it. It's a trauma, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That they'll go through that, they never be able to regain their success back, their confidence back. Because it's something about men, right? And I try to explain with men hurt when you hurt your boy, your man, your boy, different from a hurt from a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's so much different, because what I put up in sacrifice, because I felt like this was my little brother, you know what I'm saying, it was big to me to sit here and say, yo, man, I actually would have put my life on the line. I put my life on the line for him, like, because I know when I first started taking him from out of New York and shit, I remember his mom saying, yo, just make sure my boy all right. I honored that, man.
Yeah, but women come and go. Like, it's the end of a relationship. Yes, you'll be hurt. Yes, you can be broken-hearted. But if you've been through prison, if you're taking bullets, if you're doing street things your whole life, there's a different sort of bond with best friends, because they say after 7 years, once you're been friends with someone for 7 years, you'll always have that connect. You'll always have that emotional connect. So it's more pain, you're right. And that's why men struggle to trust, because it's not been fucked over by a woman, it's been fucked over by friends. And people make mistakes, though. None of us are perfect. You ain't perfect. You've probably done things. He's done things. Nobody is ever perfect. But when you think, if you're going through all that, giving your life to someone, building a life with someone, building that career, that vision that he's had for the future, and then sort of one goes his own way and the other can understand the bitterness as well. What were you like at school?
School, I was a shit. Nah, that alpha male, yo, like, I played every sport. You know what I'm saying? Basketball was my way. That was my gateway to everywhere I went. You know what I'm saying? I played every sport. Whatever sport that school would take on for that year. Yeah, we doing gymnastics. Yeah, they'd come and get me. I'm doing gymnastics, doing this. But basketball has took me where I wanted to be. It seemed to be like, that's that universal, it's a hustle. Basketball is like selling drugs. When I tell you, you know what I'm saying? Your product is your game. You understand? And everywhere I was able to go, you know what I'm saying? Any city that I ever sold drugs in, that was the opening. That was my gateway. If I could find the local gym where the local hustlers, where the local people at, you know what I'm saying? And they see your game, they already know you're not from here, or they're like, yo, that's a universal conversation. So, you know what I'm saying? People would always gravitate and say, yo, where you from, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a team. You want to play on my team? And that's just been who I am. I've always been a sports fanatic, with everything.
Yeah, it's a great thing to have, because it builds connections, it builds friendships, and it also builds trust. Because if you're playing with someone's team, that's another gang. That's another form of gang, where you just want to fight for each other, win for each other. Like, it is important. Sports is one of the biggest things on the planet, so it's easy to connect at deeper levels, especially if you have a talent at something. How was Jay at school?
How was Jay? Laid back, settled. We didn't really hang out in school together because he was in a higher grade than me. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, Jay was leaving junior high school when I got in there, because I got held back coming from another school. You know what I'm saying? So I met Jay going to school. Like, I never knew that he lived in my building. I never knew that he lived right across the hall in an apartment until I saw him at school one day, and like coming back, and we at the building, like, hey, you go to school? Man, all right, cool. But I also used to be aware of us going to school. We had to go through this gang territory, right? And I used to see them all the time when I'm walking to school. I used to see him and a few other guys lined up on the fence and the gangs harassing them. You know what I'm saying? And I used to peep that, like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Then when I realized he's from my building, you know what I'm saying? I told him, I'm like, yo, bro, you don't got to deal with that shit. You from the same building. This is our section here. come to school with me, and I ain't gonna come to school with me tomorrow. Walk with me, come this way. Because the same way I did that with him, someone did that with me. Like, look, you know what I'm saying, DeHaven, this is how, when I first moved to Marcy, someone did that with me. Yo, look, boom, you see that over there? That's them over there. Don't ever let them go and, harass you or go in your pockets to try to rob you. You know what I'm saying? You have to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? The person that told me that and gave me a pass to come to school and get around those guys is the same way I did Jay. But he was a little bit more laid back in school. He wasn't as active in sports like I was and stuff. But he left right before me when I got in there.
Where does the name DeHaven come from?
That's a good question, man. I don't know. My mom says she don't know nobody named DeHaven. I don't know what my mom was tripping over, right? But I don't know if it came from my grandfather or whatever, but every time I asked her, like, how you come up with that? And she said, like, I think she said my godmother came up with it. But throughout life, I thought I would be the only one named DeHaven. yo, once the internet came involved, and I'm like, yo, it's DeHavens all over. Like, how did that happen? You know what I'm saying? It's a famous star named Gloria DeHaven. And then I see this moving trucks with DeHaven in it. But I'm glad it's such a unique name, though. You know what I'm saying? Because if you heard it once, you know what I'm saying, and someone repeated it, you know what I mean? You'll know that, nah, I know one DeHaven, only know one DeHaven.
When did you start getting involved with drugs?
Man, I've been around drugs from young. I didn't get involved in the drugs, but I've been around drugs. Like, my mom dated this guy, man. He was like one of the biggest suppliers in the neighborhood. You know, he owned a social club and everything up on the strip and stuff. And I used to work in his bar I used to go there on the Saturday and Sunday to clean up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm aware of everything. My family come from drugs. My aunts, my uncles, they all come from drugs. So I've always seen it. You know what I'm saying? As a young, like, you 6, 7, 8, this, that, and the third, you know what's going on, but at that time, your family would never show you that drugs, but you knew alcohol and marijuana and all that stuff was going on. But by the time I hit teen and started seeing it, around my stepfather, and I'm saying, okay, cool, I see how it works. I see the interaction, how it works. And I already been hustling as a kid anyway. You know what I'm saying? I had a paper route. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to the store for the older people in the building. I packed groceries. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always had a hustle. You know what I mean? That was one thing my stepfather taught me. Like, yo, shovel snow. Like, up until this day, New York, you're gonna get a storm, and I'm just sitting back going, you might as well spend that $2,000 on a good blower. You know what I'm saying? Make some money. I was a hustler. I'm that little guy that's gonna go buy a shovel. I'm gonna make some money. So around 15, when some drugs fell in my hands, I was dating this girl, and her father must have been a big time dealer, because she used to come around in these big cars to pick me up. You know what I'm saying? And we fumbling around in the back seat one day and shit, and my hand slip in there. And I come back and I got a fucking whole bag of white shit. You know what I'm saying? So I hurry up, put it in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? It could have been detergent. It didn't matter. I put it in my pocket and I find out later. You know what I'm saying? I ain't give a fuck. You know what I mean? As a kid, I'm like, yo, what this powder? That's the first thing coming to my head. I don't give a shit. I'm going to see what this is, because it's tucked in the bottom of this seat. So when I left from her and got upstairs and shit, I immediately called someone and shit that I knew, one of the drug addicts in the neighborhood. I'm like, yo, come here. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what that is. You know what I'm saying? Less than no time, he like, where would you get this? Where's that? What's going on? Like this and that and the third. And I'm like, nah, I just wanted you to, test that. And then this and that and the third. And I found out that's what it was. So being what I've seen my stepfather do, you know what I'm saying? I tried to mimic that, where I left out, You know, I kind of left out the scale and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And tried to do things with my eyes. I knew it was to put it in aluminum foil and shit. I knew to do that. And I knew a 20 would look just, you know, just about this. You know, I did everything by eye, you get what I'm saying? And bagged up a nice amount. And I think I told Jay, I said, yo, Jay, I found this. I'm going to get rid of this shit, son. And he like, all right. So I found the neighborhood, the crackhead, and gave him 1 or 2. And next thing you know, there's fucking lines coming around, right? And they'll sell each other out. Drug addicts will sell each other out. So when I started seeing so many people coming looking for me, I'm like, yo, don't come to my house and this and that and the third. And this is straight coke now, right? So another crackhead come to me and says, yo, bro, how much you giving him? How much you giving him that for? And shit. I'm like, those are 20s. He's like, what? He in the hood selling shit for $50 and shit. You know what I'm saying? You giving away too much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, huh? You know what I'm saying? So that's the ins and the outs of the games. But that's when I called my so-called first time ever selling drugs. But with doing that, you know what I'm saying? I had no backup plan with the money. Every day, me and Jay going shopping and food and shit, you know what I'm saying? No idea about, yo, if I'm going to save this and get some more, like, none of that's coming through my head. All I care is about, yo, this shit is moving and we getting money for this shit. So when it's all gone, I'm fucking looking stupid, you know what I'm saying? Like, what we do next? You know what I'm saying? And just based on that run, you know what I'm saying? I created clientele. I created a good name for myself. And it was this Spanish guy in the neighborhood that grew up with us named Spanish Jose. So Spanish Jose, I got a wind of, you know, how good my reputation was when it came to selling blow. So Spanish Jose, I mean, he watched me from a little kid, you know what I'm saying? Spanish Jose pulled me to the side and said, yo, you know, how about you want to do this for me and shit? You know what I'm saying? I ain't have nothing anyway. So I'm like, yo, it didn't matter. And next you know, Spanish Jose was giving me packs. I was running through packs and packs of that shit. And, you know, that time, it was like 60-40 split. And I'm telling you, like, Jose would fucking give me 60. Like, he just giving me that shit. Like, you know, this for you, DeHaven, because he watched me grow up. I'm telling you, I went to school with his nephew and all that shit. So it was like he was just giving me that shit. You know what I'm saying? So with that going on and shit, I was just getting too much publicity. You know, by then my sisters was already telling on me and shit to my mom, like, yo, you know, DeHaven is out in the streets. And my mom worried, and I'm not showing up for basketball because in school anymore. You know, school is not an interest to me no more because of the money I'm getting. You know, now my coach is like, yo, bro, listen, just show up. And I'm like, man, he like, listen. I'm like, bro, I ain't been to social studies. I ain't been there. Don't worry about that. He used to be like, don't worry about that. Just show up. And my coach had a nice passion for me and shit. And he seen me slipping. And he had a conversation with my mom behind that. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, you know, he told my mom how much talented I was in basketball. And, you know, he recommended a program for me in Trenton. And that's how I ended up in Trenton, New Jersey. He recommended a program in Trenton for me that had a couple of star D1 players was coming out of there, going to college and shit. So my mom thought that was a good idea because she didn't want to lose me to the streets.
How far do you think your basketball career would have went if you never started drug dealing?
I would have went.
NBA?
Yeah, I would have went. I had a cousin went to UNC, went to Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Brian Reese came up out of New York, good basketball. That was my family. And he used to try to encourage me, like, yo, come on, just stay in school. Just stay in school. And the money I was making, man, you couldn't tell me anything, man.
How much were you making back then?
For a teenager, 15, 20 grand a month. Just putting away, not, you know, and not counting the money I already saved up since I like I said, I've been hustling since I was a little kid. When video games first came out, when I watched Jay and all my friends and them begged their parents for, Gil, can you give me an Atari? I went out and bought my own shit. I already had my own money. I went and bought my own Atari and spent the whole $500 back then was some shit. I went and spent my own $500, and then guess what? 2 fucking days later, you know what Atari was? Next door in Jay house. My mom like, yo, you spent all this money, why'd you just... That shit wasn't making me no money. Just the mentality that I had as a kid.
Wasting too much time.
Damn, I sit here and play this shit. I got a mean ass paper route, man. I could sell 500 newspapers in one day on one corner, in one day on a corner, 500 for $2 and change a piece. And I'm only getting them for 75 cents. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had this kind of money already coming up. So money was never an issue to me. Money, women, clothes. I've been a star.
How much was an ounce back then? Were you getting ounces or kilos or corners, nines?
When I gradually... Because at one time, when crack really first came, 88, 89, like I was already buying capsules. I wasn't aware of how to convert the coke over. I wasn't aware of none of that. I just, you know what I mean? So we used to come up to New York. I used to come up to New York and buy capsules. I could sell $3 capsules for $10. And I would come up here with me, my cousin, come up here and get about 7,000 capsules. And we'll run through them shits in a week.
How much a capsule?
$10 a capsule. But see, at 7,000, I'm dumping them shits. I'm giving you 3 for 25. I'm giving you 5 for 40. I'm giving you 7 for 50. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you a package. You buying 15. You know what I'm saying? I'm running through 7,000, 10,000 capsules in a week. I'm taking it all. As long as I can get the minimum of $5, $6 on each capsule, you know what I'm saying? That's a win.
How was Jay in this partnership then?
Jay, I just brought him down to Trenton at that time. You know what I'm saying? When I brought Jay down to Trenton, it was already organized.
And how old was he at the time?
We was 16 and 17.
And where is Trenton, next to Philly?
Right next to Philly, yeah.
Yeah, I drove past that just last week.
Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It looks cold as a motherfucker there, bro.
Yeah, yes, it is. Nah, yo, but take it, case in point, man, I didn't have a little brother, so having Jay in my life was my little brother. So when I sit here and tell you this story, I want you to really think about it as your little brother. If anything happens, anything he get into, what am I here for? I'm his brother. So everywhere I went, from the time of 4th grade, Spanish Jose, everywhere I went, yo, Jay, when I opened up Trenton, you know what I'm saying? When Trenton opened up, I went there for basketball, right? But when I got day one, when I got to go to that school and seeing, it was like a hustler's paradise. I've never seen it like that before. I'm talking about hustler's paradise. I'm talking about teenagers coming to school with Benzes, this and that, big fucking rings. It was a hustler's paradise. I was like, wait a minute, I just left New York. What the fuck? Like, that's when I seen start seeing some real money. Cause I was amazed that this high school, I was going to this was supposed to be for my basketball, this and that. But when I got in there, man, I seen some real shit that I didn't have. You know what I'm saying? These dudes coming to high schools, these dudes got Porsches and they hustling. So I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. You know, what's the lick here? And like I said, I had family there too as well. Once my family put me on, you know what I'm saying? What I had was selling in New York for Spanish Jose. What I had there was selling for $40. What I was selling in New York for $10, I came to Trenton and I was getting $30, $40 for.
And what happened to your run in New York? Did you still have that going?
Nah, I immediately stopped because my mom wanted me to leave. My mom was like, yo, you can move into Trenton. But I still had those packs. So I said, I'm going to take this to Trenton with me. You know what I'm saying?
Do you regret that?
Did I regret that?
Yeah, taking it with you.
Nah,
Because that would have been your opportunity, though, to fully focus on the basketball.
that's true, but this script is already wrote. You feel me?
Yeah, that
Your
traits.
script-
Yeah.
this script is already wrote, man. Nothing, I could go back and change nothing, because when I realized this is already wrote, man.
Because in New York, you've got your family, you're from the streets there, you know everyone. But how hard was it to build up a run in Philly? Did you get any hassle, any
In
trouble?
Trenton, you mean?
Yeah.
Nah, I tell you, my cousin was the dude. My cousin was a good guy. And he was a hustler too. And he had a lot of respect in that neighborhood. So when I got there, you know what I'm saying, he introduced me to everybody, you know what I'm saying? And let me tell you, man, I'm the best friend, man. I'm the best friend. If you're a loyal person, you're a good person, man, I'm the best friend. So you leaving me with, hey, this is my guy, you leaving me with someone, but when you come back and the day is over, that's someone to be like, yo, that guy's a fucking cool guy, yo. You know what it is about my era, my energy or whatever, but everybody my cousin introduced me to, man, they trusted me, I trusted them, and you know, they put me on and showed me everything and showed me how everything was supposed to be out of this. So periodically, while I got Jay coming down on the weekends, you know what I'm saying, and he's seeing, and I'm showing him, yo, this is how I move, this is how you this and that and the third. By then, man, he in. It's already laid out. The blueprint is already laid it out already for him.
And what was happening with his rapping then? Was he doing any?
Yeah, that he was always rapping. I was the one banging on the table. When we was 14, 13, up all night in his house banging on the table, his mom have to put me out. You know what I'm saying? We had our little trio rap group at one time and shit. His name was Shawnee D and my man Al and this and that. We had our little turntable. We was doing what he do. Only thing, Jay never stopped. He never stopped rapping. So while I'm dipping and diving in Trenton in the beginning, him and Jazz moving around. You know what I'm saying? Him and Jazzo moving around. Then when him and Jazzo say, look, man, he come to me, Jay come to me and say, yo, you know, we going to London. Jazzo gonna take me to London. Word? That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing. Here, take that with you. You'll be all right. Y'all need anything? Call home, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So while they over in London, I'm burning the block down.
So you gave him money to go to London?
Yeah. No, that was all paid for with Jazz on it, but you still need money, man. You know what I'm saying? You still need your own bread.
How long were you in Trenton for?
Oh, I stayed in Trenton from 88 to like 90.
What happened with the basketball?
Nah, I never went back to school, man. I watched two of those players go to D1 college ball players and shit. That class that I would have came out of, I couldn't stay in school, man. I was making plenty of money by the time I got in high school over there. You know, like I said, you know, you're sitting on 60, 70,000 in high school, man. It wasn't no purpose, man, for me. And you know, this is when your family say, you know, look, man, if, you know, you want to be, you do everything as you grown. Pay your own bills. You know, we was all living in my aunt house for a minute in Trenton. You know what I'm saying? I had two of my homeboys and my uncle there. You got Jay, I had another guy named Panama, and my uncle Buzz. Like, I had the right team there in Trenton.
Were you partying also back then?
Hard.
Were you? Were you taking
Because that's
drugs?
all it was about, man.
Were you taking drugs?
Dipping and dabbing. When you say taking drugs, it was party. It was for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't users.
Were you sniffing?
Hard.
So I went to basketball training.
Yo, mister, it's a serious story, man, in this book when it comes to, you say hard, because I really end up, later down the line, I ended up with addiction. So, you know, that's something different. But yeah, that's when you was able to, you know, it was just dipping and diving, partying. It wasn't like you wasn't getting high Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No, you know what I'm saying? When we finish done and work is done, yeah, I'm gonna dip and dive. We gonna party. We party all the time in Philly. I partied all the time in Delaware. And partied a lot, man.
Where did you go after basketball then? Did you go back to New York?
So basketball never took off in Trenton. Like I said, I just got deeper in the game. I just got deeper in the game. So going back to Jose, it was just one time, you know, it's just finally one, you know, I was getting the huge packages from Jose at the time. Like I said, Trenton, I was getting damn near double amount. So then I go back to New York and find out Spanish Jose got murdered. So, you know, what I'm gonna do now? His father even said, yo, you know what I'm saying, that belonged to you. You know what I mean? I took the money to his father and everything, bro. His father said, yo, man, that belonged to you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm sitting there like, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. And then I had my homeboy, a good friend of mine that's always been on my right-hand side, always had a connection with somebody that was in the business. You know what I'm saying? So I started going uptown, Harlem, seeing these Dominican guys. And once I started a relationship with them, I pretty much never looked back.
Why did Jose's dad not take the money?
I don't know, man. Jose probably has so much money anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dad doesn't want it anymore.
It was, you know, like I said, his dad knew me. His dad knew what it was. You know, I think that's just part of the game, or he could have took it, or I don't know. But he said that belonged to you.
How serious then does it become when you start moving through the gears and getting bigger bits? Because now you are talking life or death. It's okay selling $10 bits, $20 bits. It's not that extreme. But once you start selling the bigger bits, money starts going missing, drugs start going missing. Now you're talking life or death like Jose.
Mm-hmm. Yo, I mean, one thing I always knew, I knew what came with this. You know what I'm saying? And I try to tell people, yo, regardless on, if you think this shit is easy, you know what I'm saying? You know, I've played the trenches for a long time. For a long time. When I say the trenches, I played the trenches when I was in Trenton. I was in the blocks, in the trenches, in the alleyways. I done that already. You know what I'm saying? From Trenton to Maryland, I done the blocks. I done the projects. I've been in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? So when you tell me about stepping it up and stepping it up to another level, it's a lot more than you. It's a lot more responsibility.
And how many's in your team at this point? Were you called the Rock Boys, or is that just a myth?
Nah, that's just a myth.
Where does that come from then?
I don't know. You know, it was 4 of us. Like I said, my team, I had a good team, man. It was me, Jay, Panama, and my Uncle Buzz, rest in peace, from Trenton. We all in Trenton together. You know, my Uncle Buzz would play the role of making sure that the drugs got from A to B. Because my Uncle Buzz, he had a profile that he looked you look at him and be like, you the police. You know what I'm saying? He had this police look, straight guy, square, you know what I'm saying? And this is when racial profiling is at its peak. You know what I'm saying? You be driving in the police and you look over there, you see one baseball cap, everybody being pulled over. So my Uncle Buzz was good at that part. You know, he can get it from A to B, you know what I'm saying? The police is never going to stop him or whatever, and that the third. Panama was one of the guys that somebody be like, yo, this is my man Panama and shit. Nah, I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom. And he don't come back no more. And 10 years later, you'll be like, Panama's still here. You get what I'm saying? Like, You know what I mean? He was that kind of energy. He was that kind of guy. He was the missing link to me having my first key of cocaine. You feel me? Like, it played its purpose. Because at one time, I'm like, damn, Panama is a fucking extra mouth to feed. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's good, but the numbers, the math ain't mathing. You know what I'm saying? So one day, like, I'm hustling to get this whole key. I'm hustling to get a whole brick. I'm hustling to get a whole brick. You know, you can get the half a brick and then get the 750 grams and then you get the half this. You be getting so close. So, I mean, one day I was like $2,000 off from the brick. I might have been paying about 18 for them, 18, 19. And I was $2,000 short and I had Panama with me. Right? And they speak Spanish. I'm going to a Dominican spot in a restaurant and we at the table. Panama sitting right here to my right. And they discussing and I tell them, yo, I got 17. I know I need 19. Can you give me that? I'll bring that back. And they in Spanish talking. I don't know what the fuck going on. They in Spanish talking. And unless you know, Panama said something to them in Spanish. And they fucking looked at each other and then looked at Panama. And then they discussed something and they talked and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Panama? And I never heard Panama speak Spanish until then. You know what I'm saying? So Panama tell me, yo, go ahead, sit in the car and wait. I'll be out there. I'm gonna talk to them for a minute. Yo, Panama come out, the duffel bag, get in the back seat, throw the duffel bag in the back seat, and we peel off. And shit, I was like, everything good? He like, yeah. I was like, yo, as soon as I get back, you know what I'm saying? I know I got $2,000 or something I could get, and I'm gonna send you back here with that. And I want to say, nah, you owe him 22. Panama said, nah, you owe him 22,000. I was like, what the fuck? And he pulled the bag out. He got 2 fucking keys and shit. And I'm like, yo, it's on. I never looked back. I never fucking looked back, yo. I never ever looked back, you know. And I took that from, I don't know. I used to cop with $250,000 sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's at that time, that was just, you know, to what I hear now with guys having connections with cartels. I ain't have a connection with cartels. I ain't have nobody. If it was someone in my circle at that time with a influencing me about, hey, let's go to Miami. Hey, let's go to fucking Mexico. If it would have been somebody that influenced me, I know I would have done it.
I'm surprised you didn't think that way though, with your hustling mindset to go Jamaica or go Cuba, Colombia.
Nah, that shit never crossed my mind. I think because it was the comfortability and the loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Because it got to a point where my connect would be like, man, don't bring that money up. Don't come. You don't have to bring the money no more. You know what I'm saying? We'll come get the money.
Because you're buying from here for 18 and 20. You could have got it for 5 or 6 across the water.
Yeah. Nobody never told me, yo, let's take a trip and we fucking this and that. You know, I was just too comfortable with the connect that I had. You know what I'm saying? That was a blessing. To go up there and fucking wait for them to count $250,000 fucking dollars. And I used to be like, why would it take so long? I'm talking about 6-7 hours. Why is it taking y'all so long to count the money? I'm ready to fucking go. You used to tell me, no, Poppy, no, everybody can't touch money. 2 guys count. They didn't trust their fucking team. They didn't trust money count machines and they didn't trust their team. I used to be like, yo, man. So it got to a point where I'm like, yo, tell you what, bro, let me know when you finish. We come get the money and we drop this off. And it made it less, you know, less responsibility. So that comfortability will have you loyal to that. I'm not even going to look at nothing else. You know what I'm saying? If I could wake up, it's 25 bricks at the location. I'm not looking at nothing else. That's the loyalty.
So you're top of the pyramid. Are you passing the gear down to Jay and the people around you, or are they getting a cut of what you're making at the top of the tree also?
When that happened, I would leave Jay and them about 9 ounces out of 2 bricks. And I'm going out of town because I'm moving it much faster and at a higher price. This is new to me. By the time I buying bricks, by the time I started buying keys, I had a new spot. I was going down to Maryland, and that was something different. That was more money, faster money. I was running into people who already had money. People that already had, I got 10,000, I got 20,000 now, I got 40, I'll buy the whole thing. So I wouldn't leave all of that with them because by the time they get ready to finish, I'm heading back already. You know what I'm saying? I'm heading back. So that's how fast that was going. And then after a while, it was just moving so fast that Trenton it wasn't an option for Trenton no more.
Where were you at when you were at the peak of it? How many boxes were you moving each week? How many kilos?
At my peak,
How much were you making?
I can move, on my peak, I moved 20, 25 keys in a week, week and a half. You know what I'm saying? And that was a lot of work because it was just me. When I say it was just me, when I say it was just me, it was just me. And the reason why I say that, because I want you to understand when I talk about my federal case and I looked around and I said, damn, it's just me. You get what I'm saying? I'm the only one from New York that's here, you know what I'm saying? So just me. I had set up things really, I had set up a blueprint that like couldn't fail, right? I got locked up in 91. I got locked up in 90. I got locked up in 90. That was the first time I ever did a bid. I had to go to jail the day after my birthday. I had to turn myself in the day after my birthday. Right? And when they locked me up, my first bid, and I said this bid, I was looking at 18 months in there. And I was saying to myself in this bid, like, this is the blueprint. I wrote everything down on paper on what I was going to do as soon as I get out of jail, how I was going to do it, how I was going to set them up, how I was going to get, because I established a nice clientele before I got locked up. So I knew these guys I could count on. You know what I'm saying? So I drew up the whole blueprint for when I'm going to get out. During this time, I'm sitting back in jail, Jay and them, they maintaining the business. It's not flourishing, you know what I'm saying? They maintaining the business. Meanwhile, Jay came once. I think he came once. Emery been there a few times. But anyway, yeah, they was making sure I was good in there, definitely.
But everything's still tight when you're in prison?
Yeah, they keeping the business going. Just going. Like, it's just going. You can't, it's just...
Yeah, but it's your business and that is all you had.
Yeah.
So you would have had 100% committed to the cause. You knew who you were, you knew what you were about, and you knew how it operated. Jay would have still had the rapping at the back of his mind.
Yeah.
He would have probably just been happy, still making money, but also the rapping. The drugs would have been his backup plan. The drugs was your plan.
Drugs was my plan. So during this bid, I'm fucking hustling in jail, like, big time. Like, this shit was sweet, you know what I mean? I got weed, like, these fucking guys are coming in, going to visit and swallow 4 balloons and come shit it out, and the old school way, right? Meanwhile, I'm getting a quarter pound of weed, a half a pound of weed in every other week and shit. So I got the whole fucking jail on lock. So I'm hustling and even in there. So I mean, it was a good bid. That's why I've been like, that was one of the best fucking times I needed it to pull out this plan though. So when I got home, and I came home, I started to put the blueprint to exist, put it to play. I said, yo, these 5 guys right here, Emery, this guy, that guy, that guy, that guy right there. I knew those was key, those was go-getters, street niggas. I said, this is what I'm gonna do, right? I'm selling you an ounce. You buying me an ounce for $1,200 an ounce. You buying 4 of them. I'm gonna hit you with 4 on consignment. I need you to keep doubling up. You know what I'm saying? I need your money to grow. So when I hit you, you can't come back and buy 4 again. Or you get what I'm saying? I gave you those extra 4 so you can come buy 6, 8 or something, you know, double up. I knew that these type of guys, this is who they was. You understand? So let's say a month into time, that 4 they bought, now they coming back buying half a keys. And I'm giving them a half a key. They got a whole one now. You get what I'm saying? Stacking their money up, stacking their money up. You know what I'm saying? So now that I got you buying a whole key now, right? I'm charging you $24 for a whole key now, right? I tell you what, how about you give me the money up front? I give it to you for 20. Knock off $4,000 off of them. So now I got 5 guys giving me their money up front. The trust. The fact that they trust me with this shit. You feel me? The trust. I come back here. I'm fattening them all up, man. I'm going to fatten them all up. Now, when I fatten them all up and they all buy, now I got you buying 2, 3 keys. I got you buying 2 and 3 keys. Now that all stops. No more, I can't take your money up front. Now it's all straight direct. Now y'all all gotta buy from me. Now it's just me now. I made sure that y'all got this, so it's easy for me to get rid of 25 keys easy. You know what I'm saying? Because now he want 4, he want 4, he want 4, he want 4 in rotation.
And Emery, who's part of the story as well, I think he's still friends with you. How was that connection? Because did you not put that connection together for people who don't know?
Yeah. While Jay and I was in Trenton, Emery was the first guy. Emery was one of the first guys I took a liking into.
Why?
He had that man. So I saw me and him. I saw me and him. Like, this guy got potential. And I'm telling him, and I'm telling you, the relationship I had with him is almost like how I felt, RB Jay, this could be my little brother here. You know what I'm saying? His mother was like, treated me like a son. Like, it really treated me like, so I had a real bond with Emery. It was times that I'm like, I need some extra cash to go to New York. And I call Emery, and he said, yo, go ahead, go to my house. This is my safe number. Give me the safe number. I go in there. If I was getting $30,000 extra from Emery, I go in there. If I took $30,000, I could still see another damn near 100 in there. That's what kind of guy Emery was. In high school. My work. Out my litter. You know what I'm saying?
But they're also putting in the graft. They're also on the streets as well. Yes, it's your supply chain, but they're also out there hustling. It's all working together. You're obviously the top of the tree, but they're out there still putting in the hours, still putting in the danger, and still risking their life to make that money.
Yeah, well, it wasn't danger for them.
Why?
They left because there was another level now. They didn't have to do that. They was supplying, you supplying your area, this one supplying that area, this one supplying that area. It's like 7 of me running around these counties. It's like me having somebody hustle in Brooklyn. I got one in Queens. I got one in Long Island. I got one, that takeover that's running all of that shit out there through me.
How much stash do you must have had a good bit of put away?
Spending money is frivolous, man. I used to spend a lot of money.
Is that one of your downfalls?
That came with the game. It wasn't a downfall. Spending it recklessly on things that didn't have value was the downfall. This is where I talk about when I do my speaking, when I speak to the kids and they ask me the money, and I tell them how vital education was. Because yes, I could have been owning property in Dumbo. Yes, I remember looking at a place over there and someone's wanted to sell it to me for a low price. And I used to be like, well, what I want to buy this for? You know what I'm saying? So lack of knowledge, lack of education. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I learned about having money.
What's the most you had aside?
I left the game with almost $500,000. 390,000, something like that. That was the most I ever had that was belonged to me. When I left, when I quit.
Did anybody ever try and put it on you and your crew? Did anybody ever try and outmuscle you or threaten you to try and take over your patch? Because there's a lot of big families out in New York as well. There's a lot of tough people.
Well, I wasn't in New York. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't advocating for no violence around me. Violence never got me no money. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that come up in my trial. And, I listen, there's no murders, there's no guns. You only talking about coke and money. There's no violence in my case and nothing. I never saw a reason to have to do all that, man. You run off with my 5,000, there's chances that you'll run off with somebody else's 5,000 that's not going to be as kind as I am. That's how I always handle things. I'm not wasting time looking for you. If you think you're going to come up off of stealing or taking in the game, trust me, man. It just don't work like that, man. You know, this life don't work like that way. If it ain't meant for you, I don't care how you get it. If it's not meant for you, it's not gonna last. So I ain't had no chance. I ain't really spend time on violence. Do it come with it? Yeah. But I always stay straight and narrow, man, and loyal. I remember an older guy, right? Much older guy than me, hustler. 3 times bigger than me from out of Washington, D.C. I'm talking about way bigger than me. He was way bigger than who I was. And I remember going to one of my stash spots where I had about 3 keys stashed there before. I had a little 3 keys stashed there. And I went there and I go in my stash spot and there's a duffel bag next to my stash spot. And I'm like, this is not mine. Where the fuck this come from? I open that duffel bag, it's 5 fucking keys in there. What do? I sniff out who's it belong to, go get them, and bring them back there and ask them, do these belong to you? You know, first of all, he looked at the bag, he said, and then when he looked at the bag, he went under the bed, he pulled out 2 more duffel bags, 5 more, and then a whole duffel bag full of money that was in my stash spot. When he pulled that out to make sure that, that was there at least. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know that was under there neither. But the long story short, he only told me, he said, yo, bro, you know what, shorty? You're going to stay in this game for a long time, man. As long as you a loyal person like you are, man, because, this shit could have started a war. He said, you're going to live a long time in this game as long as you have those values and those morals.
What about the shooting? When you got shot, you said you took a bullet for Jay. How true is that story?
Shit, what? How true? This is life. You see that? This is life. This nigga put the fucking gun in my back and shot me. I wasn't running when he shooting. No, he grabbed me, put it in my back and shot me. And we started fighting for that gun after that. Because only thing went through my mind was, Jay mother will never forgive me for this if I let something happen to him. And then the next thing went through my mind is, my own mother is not going to fucking understand what happened if something happened to Jay. My own mother would be like, how could I let that happen? So yeah, it was one of those situations with that type of shit come with the game. I went to a different connect at a spur of the moment, nothing planned. Just, let's just go grab this while we got a couple of thousand on us. Let's just go grab this, frivolously, not even thinking. And I seen it all unfold, and I end up jumping in front of this dude, pushing Jay off the scene, and I end up getting shot in my back.
So he was there to kill Jay?
No, they was there to rob us. You know what I'm saying? Jay had on jewelry and everything too, so that was even more tempting. But the connect who I went to, they was there to rob. They was there to get all of that. They set up. They the one who set me up. You know what I'm saying? And when I pushed Jay out the way and me and homeboy started fighting and shit for the gun, I don't know, just God, I got up out of it. You know what I'm saying? When I caught up with Jay, Jay was down the block. Jay was like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm all right." I said, I couldn't understand why I was so out of breath though. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I need to sit down for a minute. And then as I'm feeling around in my back, you know what I'm saying? I put my hand right in the hole and said, "Oh shit, they shot me, yo." Just laid on the ground for a little while and shit. And I'm like, "Nah, Jay." I'm looking at Jay, and Jay got all this jewelry on him. I'm like, "Yo, Jay, we can't wait on no ambulance, bro." I said, "You gotta go flag a cab." Like, we was like on one of those busy blocks where, you could flag a cab easy. Jay flagged the cab. We jump in the cab and shit, and I get to the hospital and shit. And I'm like, "Yo," right before we go get out the car and shit, I'm like, "Yo, just tell my mom I'm here. You go straight home." He like, "Nah, I'm staying with." I'm like, "Nah." I go in my pants. I pull out all the coke. Say, "No, you gotta take that home." You know what I'm saying? Cause they ain't get the yayo, man. They ain't get the yayo. And that's how Tony Montana said it. Get the fucking yayo, bro. So yeah, but that came with the game, and Jay talked about it in his music and everything, man. But the fact of the matter, man, I wasn't gonna let nothing happen to him. So that come with it. Like I said, a big brother shit.
Why did he not stand and fight with you?
Nah, he could. I mean, we ain't have no gun. What we fighting against?
Why did you not just give him the gear? So you were willing to risk your life to protect.
See, my
gear?
first thing was to protect him. You know what I'm saying? To get him out of there. This is why he shot me, because I went to push him out of there. And when I went to push him out of here, that's when he grabbed me back and pulled me back and shot me in my back.
How long were you in hospital for?
I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And I remember getting out of jail and shit, going back to getting out of the hospital, going back to Trenton and shit. And fucking Jay had worked his fucking ass off. He had the money up. You know what I'm saying? I was proud of him to keep, he showed me something different, like, yo, I could do this shit. And then coming to figure out how he did it and shit. It was, I've done a lot of work myself. Jay was more of I'm gonna get them workers. I'm gonna get me some workers. You know what I'm saying? When he kind of came home, Jay had put a nice team together and shit, and had shit organized. But yeah.
When do you start reevaluating your life? Because listen, money's great. Everybody needs it. We work hard to get it. But when do you really start trying to figure it out that, is it really worth it, or are you just straight back on the hustle?
You'll be straight back on the hustle until you understand that shit is built against you. Because I went to prison and came home and try to fix our relationship, fix our friendship. Went to prison, came home, I did almost 5 years, and I realized, like, yo, this over. Like, I'm gonna go home, get my life together, and get with my boy. I know he got something for me. Like, I'm a changed person and shit. And then get out of prison, and this is when it all started. Like, wait a minute. You act like you fucking don't even know me.
What happened with prison? There must have been heat on you if you're moving big bits anyway. But how did it come crashing down? How did you end up in prison?
So after the federal case, I I realized that I wasn't gonna be fucking around with no cocaine no more. And when I came home, and weed started to become the next product. And I had a little cousin who used to sell weed and shit. And I used to be like, damn, how the fuck you making, that kind of money selling weed? And he like, this is it, Unc. This is the new shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching them shit, how they doing it. So I'm like, damn, there ain't no fucking harm in weed. That's how I'm looking at it this time. Like, it ain't fucking coke, but I'm going to treat it like it's some fucking coke. When I hustle, I'm not going to be hustling to fucking just be hustling. You know what I'm saying? When I actually, so I started fucking with the weed, and in no time, like, hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Like, I was like, man, how the fuck? I need a tractor trailer. You know what I'm saying? I seriously needed this tractor trailer. Like, I was only getting a couple of 100 pounds. My cousin was like, God damn, Unc. He was like, you act like this is cocaine. I was like, that's how you got to treat anything you hustling for. You know what I'm saying? So I end up getting caught doing that shit, and I end up having to do 5 years. You know what I mean? And during those 5 years, that's when you done. Like, I'm done with the streets. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no, like, I'm watching my my little brother, the whole time. He's just escalating. And I'm like, nah, this shit gonna be an easy fix. When I get home, tell him, no, let's just sit down and put this shit behind us.
How was the relationship before you went to prison?
The relationship before I went to prison was rocky.
How?
Because of the way it fell out.
Why did you fall out?
It fell out because agreed, or I don't know what he was thinking. You know what I'm saying? I had got locked up, and I got locked up for a parole violation. And while I'm locked up, I still got a $40,000 a week operation going on, right? So I sit back while I'm locked up, and nobody coming to see me. Like, nobody's coming to say, hey, look, you know what I mean? This is what, are you, do you need me to do this and this and that? Cause I know this, like, I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? Like, seem odd. So I ain't have nothing but 4 months left on that violation. So it wasn't like I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of time. So within that 4 months, while I'm sitting in it, when I come home, I had my right-hand man, this was not my brother. This was a guy I grew up with too. We all from the same place, but he's always been my guy. If it's going to come to a battle, this is who we going to war with. I have to tell Jay, like any other time, nah, just chill, fall back. This my guy. You know what I'm saying? Straight street etiquette, gangster nigga here. Morals, principles, everything. This is my guy. So when I come home, first thing my guy says, it's like, yo, we got a problem. What's the problem? Well, I had to put Jay in his place. What you mean you had to put Jay in his place? Well, I went to go see the Connect, and while I'm seeing the Connect, I see Jay there. I said, did Jay talk to you about anything? Nah, Jay ain't talk to me about anything. Well, why would he be there? I don't know. So with that happening, and him seeing Jay at the Connect, that kind of let my man know, nah, you're not right. So my man set Jay out, got into a conflict with Jay, and it went downhill from there, our relationship. Because now when I come home, when my man tell me that, I'm like, well, where's Jay at? Jay off touring somewhere, scared to death. You know what I'm saying? So I have to tell my man, because my man he's on 10. Like, it don't stop. And I threw shots at him, and when I see him, it's going to continue. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm at my man, I'm at my guy, like, hold on. You get it from me? Relax. This one on me. Relax, man. We can't have this. I can't allow that. So now my guy looking at me like, what? Nigga stealing from you and these are the rules. You understand? So I gotta explain to him, yo, bro, that's the same shit. If somebody asks me to do that with you, we can't. Nah, that's not gonna happen. So I'm in the middle of this. So now I gotta tell this dude, tell my guy, yo, slow, this one, I'm saying, on behalf. There's a certain word we use in New York, we say on behalf. That means, yo, on behalf of me, could you let that go, man? Behalf means on what we have. Can you let that go on the strength on behalf of me? All right, cool. But if he'll steal from you, he'll kill you on the low. Just keep that in mind. If a person steal from you, you don't know what he might do. But see, so now when I did that, that kind of affected me and my guy relationship because he don't know how solid I am when it come down to having to stick to the morals of this shit. But this is my brother. So now Jay look at it like, man, fuck it. Man, fuck that, man. I don't want nothing to do with none of them. And I think DeHaven got something to do with it. This is what he put on record. This is what he just said on Drake's on All Love. I don't know if it's on Drake's album. He said, you niggas want me to chill with somebody that try to have me killed. Why would I do that? With the history I just told you we have, what would I benefit doing that? So it's bigger than just what you saying. So that altered our relationship for the time being.
So he's went to the source, cut you out. One of your best friends has found out, trying to shoot Jay-Z. You're trying to piece it together, but you're still friends with the guy who tried to shoot him, and that's why sort of it all stems from. I can understand with your story and your backstory in the Brotherhood and taking a bullet for him and your mum's known each other, your sisters known each other, and him coming through the game. I understand your frustration, but I also see it from his point. Imagine if someone tries to shoot you 3 times or how many ever times, and supposedly your big brother is still fucking with the man who tries to shoot you. It is, maybe your sort of trust was broken. Obviously, if you're the peacemaker, you don't also know, it's Chinese whispers, what's been said to Jay either. Because if he's rapping about it, you try to set him up and then doing videos when you come out of prison angry, it sort of balances it out that as a possibility. I'm just trying to look at it from all aspects.
Right. But he only tried to, well, what makes you, it stopped? It stopped though. Did he ever think of why that shit stopped? Why my guy backed off him? Did you ever think that? You know what I'm saying? Did you ever take any accountability? Did you ever say, hey, this is why I was there? You know what I'm saying? This is why I say when men have a conversation and shit, we can see, where we went wrong at. But at the end of the day, I had no control over that. He did what he knew of. This is how the streets, this is what it's supposed to be. Because the mob would have said, who brought him in? That's who taking him out. There wouldn't have been no question. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's about, you ain't taking accountability for nothing you did. You don't owe me a conversation. Instead, it's on record. You go out and you try to narrate the story from change the narrative of the story by saying that I set it up. Come on, guy.
Did you ever find out why he was at your connect? Why he went to the source? Did you ever find out why?
Yeah, I knew why. Because he was working, he was continuing, he was dealing with the same, he wound up dealing with the same, all of my folks. All it was a visit, my guy, by principles and morals. Hey, man, you locked up. I'm coming to see you. See, the betrayal is the biggest is when you find out he don't think like you. That's what we bond on, because I'm going to go to war for you because I think you would do that for me. I'm the guy that went to prison and said, yo, bro, listen, what you want me to do? How you want me to, who do you want me to see? I know shit still got to go on. So it just hurt more when you realize that they not going to treat you like you treated them.
Would he have took a bullet for you?
See, that comes to say, I can't say. I don't think so. No.
But then again, even listening to your story, he was still by your side. He went with you where you went. You were still brothers. When you took a bullet, he was still with you. When you were in your hospital bed, he was still grafting for you. So it's clear that he still had loyalty. Something has made him change that. Maybe the fame, maybe the attention, maybe when he started touring, maybe you try and cut away from that old life. Maybe you're a liability. You're in prison, you're being shot. Yes, you're doing it for a friendship and a brotherhood, but maybe you were. He thought maybe you could have been a distraction, a problem. Maybe you bring heat. I don't know, but he still had loyalty somewhere growing up. Something has tangled those wires. And it's sad that you have never got the bottom to it. And then as time goes on, it gets worse and worse and worse. You're doing YouTube videos, he's doing rap songs. And really, the bottom line is you'll probably still love each other. You would probably still take a bullet for him. And that's the sad reality when you're thinking, we've had all this sort of emotion and brotherhood and everything that we've went through. And it's probably frustrating how messy it has got. Because the bottom line is you probably just want to hug it out and actually have that conversation. But sometimes things get too deep. Sometimes money gets involved. Sometimes other people around that person is telling him lies as well and feeding him information, because there's also jealousy comes into play. You're the big man in the neighbourhood. Everyone looks up to you as the big brother. There's a lot of jealousy that comes with that, no matter who you're surrounded with. See, when you were in prison doing your 5, you must have had a realisation of not hearing from him that something was up. Did you already know inside that? And how big was it? How fast was the rapping coming? How was he moving through the ranks with that? What year was this?
Just going 9.5, 9.6.
So 90,
it's taking off.
So 96, his album drops.
It's taking off, yeah. His career is taking off in that.
Yeah, Reasonable Doubt
Yeah.
was his first album.
Yeah.
And are you in prison when the album drops?
No, I'm home on the streets, like, yeah. I like,
That's my
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, my fucking status is up now. Like, yo, your little brother, your little brother, your little brother. Yeah. But not people really knowing what the fuck is really going on. You know what I'm saying? So when this Fed situation come about, that's when all hell break loose. That's when hell breaks loose.
So why were you the only one? Was that an indictment you got?
Yeah.
Why were you the only one?
When I say the only one, I'm the only one. Yo, you read the files in the case, it tells you that I come down there with a whole gang of New York niggas. I'm the only one here. Where's the gang at? You understand? The rest of my co-defendants was from Maryland. You know what I'm saying? And you remember those guys I told you, those 5 guys that I made rich? Those were the 5 guys on the stand testifying to put me in jail. That's the sorriness of the game.
Who testified against you?
The same 5 guys that I told you, yo, I put you in place, put them in place, this and that and the third. Everybody but Emery.
Did Jay-Z give a statement?
Now, here's where the trickery come in at, right? Here's where a whole spinoff come in at. Ask that question again.
Did Jay-Z give a statement against you?
How about Jay name never came up? Never. Read my indictment. It says from 1989 to 96, I've been on investigation. Me and Jay at one time was like this. His name not come up? I know. Strange. But we're going to wave that to the side, right? So while I'm going through this trial, right? And it ain't a fucking game fucking with these feds, right? It's different. It's not this state shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I blew through the state. I used to go through the state cases like Gotti, yo. I had a banging lawyer on the state, but this federal shit is serious. Serious. So everything is off the table now. No arguments, no beef. We have a problem here, Jay. We have a problem here. I need your help. When I need you most, then you should backtrack everything I've done, everything my family done, this, that I need you most. Yo, I need to get out of here. No, Jay, and I tell him I have to run him down. I have to run him down. He ain't come looking for me and say, hey, you all right? He ain't gonna knock on my mama's door and say, hey, what DeHaven need? I had to send people to get him. And then when I see him, face to face, me and you right now, I said, Jay, listen, man, all I need is some help. Lawyer. You don't gotta give me no money, just give me a lawyer. Give me the right lawyer to defend me in this case. Because I can get around this. I think I can get around this. You know what he said? He looked at me in my eyes and said, yo, don't even worry about it. I got you. I got you. We in 2026 now, bro. I ain't seen him yet. Friendship, loyalty. yo, bro, I ain't seen him yet. All I got was songs. All he talked about is in songs. And you want me to have, like, they be like, how you so peaceful with it? Because you drive yourself crazy trying to figure that shit out. To say, yo, you all right, don't worry about it, I got you. I ain't seen him yet. So
What year was that?
this is 9-8. This is going to 9-8 with my Fed case, 98.
After his albums dropped.
After albums, yeah, he
become the next best thing.
Yes, he's that thing. You know what I'm saying? But see now, like I said, you don't get to understand things until you look back on things, right? He never showed up. You know what I was in court with? A legal beagle, a legal attorney, a court-appointed attorney.
Yeah, they're shit.
Shit.
They're going to get you.
You know what he was? He said, you know what he said? He said, yo, I tell you what, Mr. Irby, would you consider to take 20 years if I can get you 20 years? I ain't seen no fucking transcripts. I ain't seen shit yet. You know what I'm saying?
No evidence.
I ain't seen shit. But I'm telling you, they have you, the feds, it's nothing to fucking play with. I know their conviction rate. In the back of my mind, if he would have said, I'll get you 10, I would have already said, yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is where they got our mind with, you know what I'm saying, the conviction rate. Because if he would have said 10, I would have been considering it, like, I think I could do 10. And without even looking at nothing. That's how scared I was. I've seen what they can do. I've seen them. I've had jail buddies where I watched them tell them, yo, listen, you're either going to say something, we're going to get your mother. We're going to get your grandmother out her walker. Because she has no business making those deposits in the bank. I've seen them do shit to break a man. This is why I tell you, trust. You trust this guy. You think he gonna get his mama locked up for you? So when I say they offer me, if they would have offered me 10, I would have fucking jumped on it. But I said, nah, bro, I'm fucking 40. I'm damn near 30-something. You want me to do 20 fucking years? That's life right now. Nah, we gonna play ball with them. We gonna fucking go to championship. We gonna play ball. You know what I'm saying? So fuck it. I'm doing my own shit. I go to my lawyer office and shit, and he got stacks and stacks of fucking papers and fucking suit in these little boxes of my case and wiretap shit and this and that, and just say, hey, lock the door when you finish.
Who would have wired that?
The guy who's supposed to be snitching on me, the tapes, they got tapes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you get to listen to what they got. They had one little cassette tape with the snitch, which I wanted to use for my evidence. I was like, shit, I ain't talked to this guy in years. What the fuck he reaching out to me? You get what I'm saying? It's like he's trying to trap me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not doing nothing. It shows you. The phone call says, yo, where you been? I haven't heard from you in years. So it goes to show you he's trying to reach out and get me.
Is that not entrapment?
That's what I was saying. I'm going to use this shit for me. And then I go through the papers. I'm talking about thousands of fucking papers. I'm not leaving my lawyer office 2 days straight. My name is not in none of this shit. They don't have a wire. They don't have a camera. They don't have nothing. My name is not in none of this shit. You mean the only thing they got is these guys testifying against me? That's all they had. That's how I got out on bail. The fucking judge said, yo, listen, do you have any hard evidence on him? Any hard evidence? He was like, no, we just got corroborating witness. You know why they didn't have nothing on me? Because I fucking quit the game. I wasn't part of the conspiracy. I was gone.
How long were you out the game for?
I was out the game 3 years, 4 years. When I realized that something is wrong, when I realized that I don't have the same leadership that I had at one time, like I got back and I was like, still trying to hustle. And I'm trying to figure out all those guys I was dealing with. Now everybody's buying coke. Everybody's able to buy bricks. Everybody getting sold. And I'm like, who's doing this? This is out of order. I said, it's not. It's fucking something. Something's gonna go wrong here. I had it in order. I had it organized. I said, something gonna go wrong here. And one night, my fucking lady was like, look, we got cars, we got houses, we got this. What the fuck else we need? And I said, you know, you fucking right. And I packed up kind of, tell you, almost $400,000 in cash. Packed up, left, and moved to North Carolina. 3 years later, they came and got me for that case. That's why I wasn't on it. Y'all ain't start this investigation until I was gone. I was long gone. You understand? This is why I'm not into this. Oh, y'all got the right man. But I quit. You got the right man. But I quit.
Do you feel as if you have been set up?
Thrown under the bus.
Is that a lot darker? Say if Jay got you the best lawyer.
It would have hurt me.
If Jay got you
it would have hurt me.
Why?
Because they look at that. See, I say I had to struggle with myself and say, look at it from a different perspective. And I was saying, damn, what if Jay would have came? What if Jay would have got me a lawyer? Maybe the lawyer would have negotiated all the way down to 5 years. One thing for sure, they would have been like, where the fuck you get them from? Because they know what a cost of an attorney is.
But maybe that's why he didn't get you help then.
You know what I'm saying? So but it's a gift and it's cursed, but
see if he did, say if he got you the best lawyer in New York,
right,
and says, listen, that's all I'm doing for you because you're friends with the guy who tries to shoot me, would you have been okay with that decision and you could have just got on with your life faster?
I would have been okay because he came and said that. That would have been okay. I would have had to be okay with it because he came and said it like a man. Yo, this is all I'm doing. But to look me in my face and say, yo, don't worry about it. I got you. I'll get you. I got you. I'm a lawyer. And then I never see you again? Nah, man. That's not acceptable.
How hard was it in prison when you seen him blowing up? Were you still happy for him, thinking everything's going to be okay when you're out? Were you still supporting him?
Yeah, when I was locked up. But once I came home and realized that shit wasn't gonna work, man. You know what I'm saying? That it was just something beyond that, bro. It was just something beyond that. As I came home once to actually, like I said, to make up and make this, nah, it was hard. It helped me. Oh, that shit helped me in prison, man. When I got in prison, it's like, you know, you could hear them whispering. You know, that's Jay-Z brother. That's Jay-Z brother. Jay-Z brother. Oh, it helped. It helped. You know what I'm saying? You know, it helped because it was quite a few people that knew me in there. So the word spread and like, nah, that's his brother. That's the man behind him. That's the man, you know, ooh, ooh. So, you know, people going, you know, prison has always been easy for me. Like I can't really recall having a rough time in prison. I had some rough times in jails, but I never had no rough time in prison.
How hard is prison though? Even though you say it's not tough, but it's been away for a long time and seeing one of your brothers rising to the top of the rap game, like it must be a whole mix of emotions.
Yo, no, to sit in the cafeteria eating and you hear two guys arguing about, yeah, Jay-Z was this, and yeah, and my cousin told me Jay, and then you sitting there, you like, these fucking dudes don't have a clue, man. They know, you can sit there and argue, they know so much of Jay-Z, but they would not know who the fuck I was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's hard. Then you got the other guys that run to your cell. Yo, you heard this? You heard this? You heard this? You know what I'm saying? Him and R. Kelly, Jay talking about you on this one. Listen to the Boast of Both Worlds. This one, he talking about you. Yeah.
What's the worst thing you've seen in prison?
Wow. The worst thing I seen was my sister passing away from drugs. It's the worst thing I ever seen.
Sorry to hear that.
Drugs. You know, all the drugs that I pushed out of New York. I never sold drugs in New York. You know what I'm saying? When you think it would have never affect your family. You get what I'm saying? Because you going somewhere else, pushing drugs and shit. But to watch my sister be on drugs for so long and then catch AIDS virus, to me seeing her last days, I couldn't even recognize her. So that's about the worst shit I ever seen.
Do you blame yourself?
Nah. It was nothing I can do. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, that's what, I remember the state's attorney in the fucking, on my trial, she said, she was begging the judge, please don't let him go. I'm trying to get a bail. And she begging the judge, please don't let him go. He's responsible for 85% of the cocaine coming in on the Eastern Shore. Please do not let him go. Do you understand the impact? Do you understand the impact on what that is? And I'm sitting over there like, this bitch is crazy. What is she talking about? But she was right. She was 100% right. The impact on the communities, on what I did. I said I never killed nobody, you know, murder and all that, but I fucked up 2 generations probably. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm so patient now, trying to educate these teenagers and these youth now, because I fucked up 2 generations.
Is that when the penny drops? That you actually destroyed other people's lives to benefit your own? You never realise the destruction at that age. You just want to get off the streets. But was that when the penny dropped, when you lost your sister, that the damage you had caused all around the city?
That's when it set in, yeah. to set in, but you don't blame yourself because guess what? I ain't put that shit here. I ain't put the fucking coke in my community. I ain't fucking jump on no plane and go to fucking Colombia. So far as I'm concerned, we were set up. That's why my forgiveness to these people, to everyone, is because we was set up anyway to play in this fucking game of death and penitentiary. Jay ain't know no better than for me to come home from fucking jail and prison federal case and you partner with a known fucking FBI informant.
Who?
Desiree Perez, CEO of Rock Nation. A known informant. President Trump just departed her. He just pardoned her 2 years ago. He just pardoned her 2 years ago.
When did they team up? What year?
9-6, 9-6, 9-7.
Yeah, I'm just speculating here, but could it be a possibility if he's teamed up with her, she's asked him about his past, he's told her his past, and says, listen, this can come back and get you. If your rap career's kicking off and you're going to prison 3 years later, there's a potential he could have been on that indictment. Could it be, speculating, that he's teamed up with her, gave them you, for him to then be free?
You could speculate, but I'm gonna tell you, it's all out there. It's on the facts. What am I supposed to look? How am I supposed to look at that? Other than saying, yo, Jay, when did they come to you? When did they come to you? How could we done all what we done and the morals and the principles and all of this shit, and you end up with that? If she just got pardoned 2 years ago, she's been working the whole time. I mean, you could call it for what you want. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you don't get to see things until you start to look back, until the chips fall. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't believe in coincidences and none of that. But how the fuck could that be?
What did you do when you came out of prison?
Came out of prison, when I came home, man, it was at a time where it was horrible, man. There wasn't no jobs. It was the crash, and the crash market. I was doing extorting for the first year, 2 years. I was extorting. I knew a few snitches that I've seen on paper that was out in the street still getting money. Extorting.
Tax man. Just taxing people, taking
Yeah.
stuff off them.
Yeah, you're a fucking snitch. You out here selling drugs you for free? So I ate off of that for the real street morals and values. I was doing it the right way. Like, okay, if you're not gonna, because the mob gonna they don't even want you to exist. So if you guys gonna let them be out here, the game changed. The game is over. So I did that for 2 years, that. Then that started to work, and I think me starting to get closer to God, right? I started getting closer to God, right, for help, right? And I tell people this, and I don't know what your religion is, I don't know this and this. I'll tell you what worked for me. Everything I asked God for, you listening? Everything I asked God for and prayed for, till this day, I got. So can't nobody tell me nothing. I prayed to get out of prison, prayed to get out of jail, right? I prayed that this judge let me out so I can handle my case and fight my case. I got out of case. Then when Jay and this situation was on my mind so heavenly, to it just had me filled with rage and hate. I ask God, please stop. Can you reframe them from me being in my head, in my mind? And God help me with that one. God said, you need help with that? You tired of thinking about them? You tired of chasing them around? I ended up with a brand new kid, a newborn baby.
That's more pressure.
Yo, hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that ain't no fucking answer, that's why I tell people, when you pray to God, man, you better be like, have that shit in detail of what you want, because if you leave it up to him, boy, you're going to be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So here I am now, you know what I'm saying? This is the last one. This is my last one that I can be in his life. I could play a role model, and I can't do nothing but pay attention to him. So paying attention to him, that took my mind off of the betrayal, this shit, all of this story and all this, you know what I'm saying? And, the next thing for that, I asked for help to take care of him. How I'm gonna take care of him? God, prayed, got a good job, good trade. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't stopped praying and asking nothing yet, everything I asked for. I prayed to get my documentary out. I prayed, I got that out, made nice money off that. Then I had the vision of, let me tell my story in a book. Let me, and then this through film. I've been on film sets. I know about film. And I'm like, shit, man, I'm independent. I could take this. I could be my own Jay. I am. You know what I'm saying? I learned through everything through him with this business. So other people like, do you hate him? Nah, I don't hate him at all. Nah, I need him to be, at this point, I need him to be big as he can be because my name never gonna go away.
Did you realize how big he would have got to be one of the biggest rappers of all time?
Nah, I ain't surprised. You know why? Because I seen it when it was in its rawest form, yo. I seen it. When he was putting 2 and 2 together. I seen it. I was there. I knew. You think when I used to go in other cities in DC to hear these guys rap, I used to be like, yo, don't make me go get my brother, yo. Please, don't make me go get him. If I have to go get him, you're going to be embarrassed. I was going to get him like he was a weapon. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I saw guys thought they knew what they was doing, battling, rapping, I'm like, yo, let me go get my little brother, yo.
But it must be a special thing as well, even though with what you'd have went through it and the bitterness and sort of the anger, to then seeing someone from the streets to have that $1 billion status. Like, as much as there is hate there and there's rage and there's lack of understanding of what truly broke down, but you've got to give him his flowers as well for the rise of who he ended up becoming. Yes, and the thing is though as well, everyone he seems to be around he always seems to fall out with them. Also, there's always a darkness when you raise through the ranks as well. There's always a badness. I've seen it through other people I've interviewed. I've seen it through, you kind of see how people go crazy. And I think surely not everybody's crazy. Instead of blaming the ones who are maybe acting crazy, like Kanye West, yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to go straight to the source as well and think maybe they are so calculated that they damage people so much so that
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
There's no impact in their words because people just call them crazy.
It's just the lyrics. It's the Bible language on the street. It's the lyrics. It's, if one fall, we be each other crutches. We la familia, this, that. It's the lyrics that they get so buried into. It's like the word, and they develop a trust. In Kanye's eyes, he was like, yo, that's my big brother. But when Kanye needed him most, that's where the betrayal set in at. That's when I say, yo, when you don't set in till you realize that they not gonna do what you thought that you would do for them. I sat there and was like, damn, Kim Kardashian got fucking kidnapped and fucking robbed. My man's wife? You know what I'm saying? It's a certain shit, morals of that. How I'm not my man, wife? Hold on. Yo, what? So when Big Brother don't show up like you thought he would, bro, that shit is, it bring them down to make them look like they crazy. Jazzo, Sauce Money. It's a whole, I watched a lot of careers go fucking down the drain because they can't get back out of that hole. State Property, Single, all of them guys, yo. That's because you put so much trust into some people, yo. Who knew that when these guys figure out some of the record game that they would rape their own people? Money, controversy. I look at podcasts now as filth. Like that is the filthiest shit I ever seen in my life. I watch guys that claim they're in the game together, this, that. Now they all talking about it. This is a guy I brought into my house around my kids. And now you want to talk about me for fucking views and money? Nah, bro. And I always look at it like, you know what, it just was different purpose for me, man. So when people say, man, I'm so mad, you supposed to be on them boats and ships and shit and yachts with them niggas and this and that and the third. And I'm like, nah. I used to think that way. I used to be mad looking at Jay courtside, fucking watching the game and shit. LeBron slapping 5. I'm looking at this shit. And I'm fucking courtside tickets, courtside. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, I was at a fucking game, courtside. Just telling my story. I got there, but just telling my story. You see how God works? I ain't need the fucking $1 billion to fucking sit courtside. I didn't need all of that money I thought I may need just to sit courtside. Guess what? I was sitting fucking courtside watching the Brooklyn Nets like this. Like I did this shit just through telling my story, just through people really fucking with me. Like I feel your story, guy. I feel your pain. Everybody been betrayed, man. Everybody been betrayed, but you know, it's just how deep it is. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's not just us, man. It's our families. It's our mom. You know how disappointed I am with his mother? She asked me to make sure her son was good. And she ain't come and ask to say, yo, you all right? That this shit DeHaven, no, this can't work. Y'all can't do that. Y'all can't. Y'all brothers. The one time my mom needed her, this is the lady that took care of her children, yo, when his mother was not there. So when I say this, if it was just about me, I'd be good. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hustler, man. I'm gonna get mine. When I think about that shit just, that's what brings out that energy that people think that, oh, he's still hurt, or he's all kinds of names and shit. And I'm like, man, you can't understand it till it was your mother. You feel me? You will never understand until it affects you. Once it affects you, then you get to see the point, but you can't tell me how to feel and how emotional I get. Because it's hurting. It hurts. It's trauma. It's definitely trauma. You know what I'm saying? But I seek help in God, so it ended up with, like I said, life is good. I'm good when I'm in a good space. I'm around good people. You know what I'm saying?
You're welcome, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just, this is to show you that no matter what somebody do to you, and how hurt you are and how hurt you could be, we're always trying to find a different perspective. Even if you're not going to get the answer why. Yo, why'd you do that to me? If that person don't want to talk to you, so be it, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, you can't let it consume you. You can't let the hurt turn into hate, because that'll block all your blessings.
How was it when he sings about you and raps about you?
I know he's thinking about me.
Because what was the one he says his friend gets shot up? What was that one?
Which one?
His friend gets sprayed.
Got his side sprayed up on the Uptown Brack. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, all the way up until now that he still talks about me on records. You know what I'm saying? I know you can't tell me he ain't thinking about me.
Of course. Listen, you've been through a lot.
You know what I'm
There's
saying?
a brotherhood.
And-
It's
and
still his
whether-
life story.
And whether he don't give me a dime, right? And like I said, whether he don't give me a dime, he spoke about me so much that I should be able to get paid for that on my own. JC co-signed me. Now, does it look crazy when he unco-sign you? I don't know. That shit, it creates a problem. But he co-signed me.
What do you mean?
Meaning, he couldn't use my name. He had to use my name in Reasonable Doubt to make him relevant. You say people names on your record to let them people know that you're affiliated with these people, which are big names, right? So you use my name. DeHaven introduced me to the game. Why? Because DeHaven was that nigga. He knew the game. You know what I'm saying? So when he say stuff like that, he co-signing that I am that nigga. I am qualified. And I have to use that in my story to be able to eat, to be able to compensate. They talked about our lives all through the music on what we done in the street. All that rap shit came from the street, came from what they saw, what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just the same thing, man. It's just showing you what I'm doing.
What about when he says, fuck DeHaven? How was that?
American Gangster.
Why did he do
Let me tell you, when you so emotional, you can't think. I want to say about 2 years after he said that shit, I'm only thinking about, damn, you could have sued. Nah, no bullshit. I'm talking about on a high ass level. Because of your ego and your street code, we don't go to fucking lawyers and do this and that's for Hollywood. But in reality, that was the biggest paycheck I missed in the world. You know what I'm saying? I missed that shit like, yo, wait a minute. Do you know what I could have been in court? How much money I could have got? That came out through Def Jam music, this, that. That's a lot of money I could have got. And that shit went platinum or something like that. They would have had to pull that would have been a huge lawsuit. But I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking that way. By the time I asked about a lawyer, matter of fact, I couldn't even. When I asked about a lawyer, it was, it's out of what's this? When it's take too long. When you take too long, it's out of. You could statute of limitations, and I'm saying, how could it be statute of limitations if they still play the music? I don't understand that. But hey, every lawyer told me no. So what difference does it make? So I have to use that fuck DeHaven for caving. It was a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? The curse was, damn, my boy called me a snitch and his partner is a fucking, like, what kind of boomerang shit is this going on right here? But these people could be so high in places that people don't really think rational. They say, oh shit, he's a snitch, he's a snitch. Man, come on now. In this day and time, y'all won't even question this man and ask him, yo, you said this, man. Is this true? Because we can't find it. Who'd he tell on? What did you mean by that? Because you could have got him hurt. You could have got me killed in the streets.
Maybe that was his plan.
You get what I'm saying? But I could understand his anger because I says things about your mom too. Like, fuck your mom, this and that. So I can understand his anger. You see how I gotta think of a different perspective to give him a green light? You know what? He could be that mad that he said, no, man, this motherfucker said, what about my mom? Okay, cool, fuck him. And then it's just all ugly.
Yeah, but like you say, if you're saying fuck his mum, then he wouldn't be caring if you got killed. So the worst thing you can do to a man's reputation is call him a snitch or a paedophile.
Yo, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But I had to live with that. But it ain't worked because so many people knew me. You know what I'm saying? And you have to prove it. That's where we come from too. This is what made me more disappointed and angry because I come from a place and I come from an era where if you call somebody that, You have to prove that shit, or it's gonna be trouble. Ain't nobody gonna respect you at all. If you call somebody that and you just fucking playing, they're not gonna ever respect you. So he called me that, and I've not seen not interview of him saying anybody asking. But you sit here and ask me every fucking detail about him. But if, I've been on podcasts that we can sit and have this conversation, but Jay sit here, you won't ask him nothing about me? yo, like this happens. This happens. And I'm sitting here scratching my head like, wow, what happened?
They would have been told not to mention you.
This is what I'm saying.
1,000,000%. Do not mention him or I won't be on. That's the bottom line, because if I was interviewing him, I would need to ask him about their story because he needs to speak from his side. You could be talking shit. He might say that, or he could verify it that you're telling the truth. But that's the purpose, and everybody should have a fair platform to tell things from their side. He might have a different perception of you, an outlook of why the relationship broke down. He might have thought you tried to get him killed. You just don't know. But for people not to ask him those questions tells me that he's told them not to mention you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it brings relevancy to you got to have the facts. The facts show it all.
But you must look now, look at the P. Diddy stuff. P. Diddy and Jay-Z were tight. Look when P. Diddy get thrown under the bus. There's not one social media post. There's no one ever back P. Diddy. And P. Diddy, but no matter what you say, he helped bring people up the ladder also. And his charges there, all right, he's doing his prison time. I've interviewed people that says he used to fuck with people's ex-girlfriends and stuff. I don't like that, Tupac, 50 Cent. But you just got to look at, there's no response or no backing for a friend.
No support at all.
Does that make you feel better in a kind of way?
When I see that, nah, because I know what they like.
Yeah. But does that not verify what you're saying is the truth, though? To go, I told you what this guy's like.
Yeah, but they don't care if they ain't doing it to them. I sat there and watched if you sat there and watched how Jay treated me, right? Take case in point, Dame. That's why I laugh at Dame Dash all the time, right? Number one, he could never fucking tell me that I didn't help build Rockefeller Records. You understand? That's outside of me and Jay relationship. That Dame came to me and said, yo, look, I need your help. You know what I'm saying? I need to generate some extra cash to fucking fund Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? So that's me and Dame relationship outside of Jay. And this is why I don't respect him neither, because he never once has said, hey, yo, you need any help, bro? I know you're going through a federal situation. You need any help? And all that bullshit and gangster shit he talk, he ain't never asked me that I need help. He knew how vital I was to him putting that shit together. He knew how vital I was when he was getting his ass whooped in the club and who he run out to go get. So when I say they ain't nowhere around when you need them to support, I just said that's why Kanye was so hurt, because that's why Benny Siegel was so hurt, locked up, nowhere to be to support nobody. Like when they don't come around, it's like their image, and that's scary. On what a man will do to protect his own.
What about 50 Cent? Was he ever on the scene?
I don't know. 50. He's Queens. No, I never had any run-ins. I admired him in the beginning. Very get rich, dying, trying era. That was my guy. That was the underdog guy that knew how to fucking do this shit right. That got hated on. I watched them hate on 50, did not want him to come out where 50, just as like the same way now. You know what I'm saying? 50 had to go to the West Coast to get the bag because New York wasn't going to allow him. All that blackball shit was going on. So yeah, I was rooting for 50 when he came back from West Coast with the money and was able to buy New York. New York is up for sale. You can buy that shit here. Just like now, I'm doing UK. You know why? Because it's hard as hell in America with all the hate and all the other shit going on. The blackball, it's difficult. It's different. It's always you got to go somewhere else to get on first, and then you got to come back and then show your ass off.
What about when Nas released Ether, the diss track? What were you thinking?
That's good for the culture. That was good for the culture. But they should have kept it for the culture. It shouldn't have got so personal. You feel what I'm saying? And this is where I feel like God protected me. Because it's so much that happened in that game, there's no way I would have tolerated them trying to handle Jay in any kind of way. You feel what I'm saying? Those beef situations, I know it would have been ugly. You know what I'm saying? Dame Dash having, I just told you, my crew, my right-hand man and them dudes are all gangsters. They all street certified gangsters that I fuck with. Outside of Jay and me, brother, this is who I fuck with. There was no way that you was gonna have us around that industry with a bunch of pussies. It wasn't gonna work. Wolf and lambs and sheep together, it ain't gonna work.
But that could have been a problem then if you.
It would have. It definitely would have been a problem. I know it would have.
It's bad for business.
Bad for business, but you needed it. Cause they ain't have no go-to when it was time. When shit get heat, when the beef came, they ain't had nobody to go to. That's why Philly played their part. Cause them niggas was ready. Benny Siegel and them was ready to brawl.
See, when you released the video exposing Jay-Z, why did you wait so long and why did you do it? Because people saying he was angry, like it's under
The very first one?
Yeah.
Oh man, I fucking pressure bust pipes, yo. I was doing so fucking bad in my life, yo. And I can only blame them. And that was the only way that you could fucking that was the best way. The internet was the best way for us to level the field. You know what I'm saying? To get on the internet and release, you know what I'm saying? I said that Jay-Z exposed, that shit took off. And I did it out of so much anger that I missed the money. I wasn't even focusing on the money. I was so angry and wanted them to talk to me and talk about this relationship and mend this shit that I was so angry that I wasn't focusing on the money that I can get from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was a whole lot of emotions and shit stirred up, man. It was like every fucking day. I think it's because of them. I can't get a job, it's because of Jay-Z. I can't get no pussies because of them. This, that, and the third. I just was fucking anti-Jay-Z. I couldn't get it past that shit. So that YouTube was just a release. And then when I saw all that came with it, and I wasn't prepared for that shit. I was glad to get that word out, but I wasn't prepared. You know what I'm saying? That's just anger, but I came from a different place. And I got so much hate when I did that. I got so much hate. Everything was hate. And then over the course of the years, man, that fucking shit just went like this. Because the industry started getting more and more corrupt, more and more corrupt. People got to see more and more and more and more and more. Now, look at my following. I got a huge following that I'm cool with, and it's going to continue to grow.
What about the stabbing? 1999, Lance Ramirez or something? What's that?
I wasn't
story?
around. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't around for that. I wasn't around. I'm telling you, like, I used to think it was Dame that fucking was in Jay ear, like, yo, you can't have DeHaven around, man. This is, they carry negativity. But I wasn't around for that.
How much did Rockefeller end up with? Did they not? They fell out, Jay-Z and Dan, over money as well. Did they not get sued?
They fell out because Dame ain't respect Jay. Dame ain't respect Jay.
Even though they were partners?
Even though they was partners. You know, if I was next to Jay all the time, if Jay would have kept me around, And Dame knew how much I was an enforcer. Dame wouldn't have got away with a lot of shit that the way he tried to handle Jay. It would have never been no Jay come back from vacation and Cameron's the fucking CEO of Rockefeller shit. It wouldn't have been the fucking word. None of that shit would have been going on. I would have never been able to let anybody handle Jay. So with me not there, Dame could poke his chest out knowing that, man, Jay ain't, I know who Jay is. He ain't really that. You know what I'm saying? DeHaven was, but he ain't here. So the type of shit he used to do with Jay and be disrespectful and all of that shit, Jay just got tired of it. And fuck that, you know what I'm saying? You think you're going to handle me type of shit, like any other fucking business. Because if you look at fucking Dipset and look at Rockefeller and you tell me who's still fucking standing.
How's life now?
Wonderful. Wonderful. You know what I mean? Bestseller book I'm working on, get ready to release that. I got my own nonprofit. I teach OSHA, you know, the safety and construction. I try to get the team, get these youths to understand how vital it is to have a trade. Become an electrician, become a carpenter, become this, you know, it's other ways. It's so many ways of hustling. You know what I'm saying? I speak about, like, we living in a generation now. I've never seen so many young millionaires. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is it, bro. Like, nothing can stop you. So I try to motivate. I do a lot of motivation speakers and shit and try to motivate them to tell them how creative they can be, how talented they can be, that you can make money, but you still have to have an education, you know. And I fly around doing that all the time, talking about my story. And that's it, man. I mean, what could I ask for? People still be like, yo, well, you still telling that story 25 years? Because, it didn't even reach its peak yet. Until you sitting in your living room going, yo, this shit is hard, man. This is way better than all of that shit you watching now. This is real deal. You know what I'm saying? So life is good. I pray for those guys, man, that they still successful, that, you know, whatever it may be, it may be. I know what's meant for me. I know what's meant for them. Like, life is good, man. I mean, I'm glad, you know what I mean? This is a story about how you can come back from that betrayal. You know what I mean? When someone fucking hurts you on that level.
Do you think you can ever resolve it? Do you think you can ever have that conversation to get the closure? Or do you think it's just went so far now that there's just no one stopping? Everybody's just firing shots from time and time, whether it's in songs, whether it's in podcast. Do you think you'll ever get to have that conversation?
Nah. I think I think the Carter families still feel some type of way. It's a jealousy. I can't put my fucking finger on it, right? But I can't understand why. I still can't understand why I went this way. I feel like the Carter family is some, I don't know. It's almost like, example, every year, his mom come and do a book bag, back to school drive every year, right? Which is a fucking block away from my mom, right? So 2 years ago, I finally said, you know, I'm gonna run down there and come face to face with Gloria, his mom. And when I go over and meet her, I go over there and stand there, and she looked me in my eyes, she hugs me, and she says, I forgive you. And I was like, okay. And then she just slowly deters me off to Eric, which is her son, the older brother. And then I go over to Eric and have a brief conversation with Eric, and then I walk off. And the only thing in my mind is hearing her say, yo, I forgive you. I forgive you. And I'm like, what? Forgive me for what? What the fuck do you forgive me for when my mom is a block a fucking way? She didn't ask, hey, how your mother? she ain't knock on the door and say hello? You forgive me? Nah, I forgive y'all. Because there's some pain there over there. There's something over there that I don't know. But I forgive y'all and I pray for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that's the deepest shit I ever seen. That. So when I think about if this is ever going to be resolved, I doubt it. I think some people could be so fucking rich that they just blind to fucking human dignity. You feel me? I have several family members pass away where I know they took care of Jay where it's no show. But to see him at another funeral of somebody else's boo-hooing, you're like, what the fuck could this be about? How much money you need to say, fuck that, I forget about everybody. That you could just, I don't think they sleep good at night. I don't give a fuck how fat Beyonce ass is. I don't give a fuck about how pretty, but I don't think he actually sleeps good at night.
Is there a lot more darkness around Jay-Z than what people know?
Yeah, because that's not who I know. That I don't know that guy right there, yo.
Do you think that's the money, the fame, the attention? Do you think it's a lot more deeper? Because it does change people money. You would have seen it moving through the ranks with people. It doesn't matter how much it is, $1,000, 10,000, 100, never mind having hundreds of millions. That's a whole different level. That's a whole different club. And that's a whole different faces around that table. So it changes people at different levels, but you cannot forget where you've came from. And understand as well that when you do outgrow people also. If you're still active and hanging around with real gangsters, that is a liability. So
yeah.
I understand that aspect of it also, but it does change people in a big way.
And you have to understand people change.
Yeah.
Them people ain't the same people as them active gangsters. These dudes now granddads. You know what I'm saying? So it's over. If I put the streets behind me already and I said, yo, listen, I forgive you because we was all set up. You can't see, that's not clarity. Whatever happened in this game, in the street, this, that, and the third, whatever you misunderstood about what this guy did, all of that shit, leave it. What's more happy than having your guys around you? Or you can't be who you are because the real people there? You're intimidated by the people that know you, the people that can say, man, you and fucking clown you. You too rich that you can't be clowned. That shit is weird to me.
What happened to the 100 kilo that went missing?
92 bricks.
Yeah. Whose was that?
Oh man, I don't know whose it was. It wasn't 92, but that sounded good in the bar. I don't know whose it was. It was a large amount, but I don't know whose it was, but I know someone that paid for that. I know someone that took the lick for that, right? And to see that person's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't in the right space. You know what I'm saying? It's just one more casualty that I've seen. I've seen so many people sacrifice their lives and do so much shit, and to realize, look at them now and be like, damn, he did nothing for them.
What's your biggest regret?
The biggest regret is probably not speaking up when I should have said things. I should have spoken up for certain people.
What's the best advice you've ever had?
Stay loyal in this game. Like, man, and that was the best advice because I'm here. I beat the odds. I got away with a whole lot more than what I should have done time for. I realized that I'm here for a purpose. God has a purpose for me to be here. And I'm living in my purpose, giving, providing, making sure the kingdom, trying to look out for the kingdom. So that's it.
Where do you go forward for the future, brother? What's your plans? I know you've got the book deal. I know you're doing your thing, but where do you see yourself?
The next Spike Lee, the next John Singleton, the next Hughes Brothers. I want some directing movie shit of my life. I want to film my life.
For anybody watching that's maybe stuck in a life of struggle, life of anger, frustration, what advice would you have for them?
Pray. Ask God, for real. Just pray. You don't know how to pray, just fucking say, yo, you know, God, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Just give me a direction. Ask for a direction. Pray and stand on it. Have faith. You know, he don't show up tomorrow when you want to change your life around. It don't fucking work that way. You have to prove it to him. And once you start that, man, the blessings, I kid you not, man. When I say I tell you, everything I asked for and prayed for, I got. You know what I'm saying? I prayed for clarity, and I'm clear. I'm humble, I'm clear. You know, I get emotional, but I don't hate no one. I'm a good guy, man. Like I said, I'm the best friend.
Yeah, I can see that though. I can see your loyalty. I can see you're still fucking mad bastard as well behind all that. But yeah, life it's a mad thing, brother. You know, it's full of ups and downs, but you've clearly worked through the ranks. Everything's patterns, whether it's selling fucking coke, weed, socks, chocolate bars. The patterns are there. No one stops you but you.
Yeah.
No matter what's happened in the past, we can point blame, we can have all that anger, but where your focus goes, your energy flows. It's to focus on the present moment, focus on the future, focus on being top of whatever you want to achieve, you know. And I just think sometimes we can get completely lost and sidetracked, where constantly thinking about something else negatively can burn you out. And before you know it, you've wasted 10, 20, 30 years.
That's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. And I talk about it in my book. I fucking went homeless, my guy. Homeless thinking about that shit. So, yeah. You know what I mean? Don't waste time.
Is Jay still friends with people who he grew up with?
Just the guys that's around him right now. Emery and Tata.
So they're still with him?
Still with him.
But it shows you then that he has still got some loyalty then if he's still with the friends he grew with.
Emery did time. That's my co-defendant. He was owed that without having to be with Jay. He was owed that. You know what I'm saying? Tata was just in the right place, right time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, my thing is, you think by Emery being my co-defendant that he could have been like, yo, Jay, you can't say that. That's my co-defendant. He's on my fucking case. The fuck you call him a rat? Wouldn't that put him in an awkward position? You know what I'm saying? So now you started defending like, damn, dude. What the conversation could have been like when Emery came home and realized that Jay is fucking, the CEO is his partner is a former FBI informant. What was Emery thinking? Did the conversation go like, look, man, fuck that, man. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what them people think because of this and that. We're going to be so rich, we're not going to be breathing the same air as them. So don't worry about them fucking people back home talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what the conversation could have been like. And this is what it couldn't be like to me. He couldn't have been able to tell me, yo, come on, man. And I'm like, who's that? Who's her? You know what she did? It wouldn't have worked out. You know what I'm saying? No fucking Rock Nation. Really? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's who I am. Maybe that's why. You know what I'm saying? And Emery more cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. I don't have to work another day in my life. I don't give a fuck. But I'm thinking about, damn, well, why me and Emery ain't had a conversation?
Did you have the nickname The Headache?
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
This. telling the fucking truth, always whining. Yeah, fucking, I always got a debate for someone, you know? I mean, it's always that, man, you're a fucking headache, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's just always, I'm gonna argue all the time. If you fucking not right, I'm gonna fucking say something about it. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, come on, you give me a headache. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? You mad at your girl, man, you fucking, but you cheat. They be like, I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where headache came from.
How are you feeling today, brother?
Man, I'm feeling really great, man. Great about this interview. Great about, I'm in the comfort zone with you, man, and the honor to be introduced to the UK, man, with my story. And I know it's people over there that can relate. You know what I'm saying? I don't been seeing it on TV. They got just as bad hoods as we got and drugs and shit. So, you know what I mean? I don't know if the snitching and shit, I never really got into the crime over there. Do they tell as much as Americans? And is there a federal, is the feds over there just like the feds over here?
Yeah,
so
it's all sort of similar. There's a lot of snitches, a lot of backstabbing, but there's a lot of beauty in the UK as well. There's still a lot of good people. I think there's more opportunities though in America. I think people are more honest in their stories. I don't think the UK, no one really is 100% honest, but it's still a beautiful place, some great people. People really enjoy this story, but you can tell you're a good guy. Listen, you've lived the life as well. You're not sitting here making shit up. You are verified out there, which is important. You've been in his songs, which is important. It's just sad to see such a strong brotherhood collapse for many different reasons. There's more than one side from what you're saying. There's going to be other sides. Yeah. I don't have them all, but I can only judge people from what they are and who they are, and I think you're a decent guy. I thoroughly enjoyed your story. I think you're going to just be bigger and better again. I think big changes are coming. For your book, where can people buy it when it comes out as well?
All right, so the name of the website is in my lifetime. The book will go on pre-sale next month. It's dropping in spring of June, like May, June. Other than that, man, after that, I'm pretty much want to focus on the script, doing a book tour, riling up my revenue to be able to pay for my own film, independent film. And, just want to be a great director in my life story.
But anything you've put your mind to, you have achieved as well. You might have wasted a few years. People might think by being angry and bitter, but you would have learnt more from that than anything.
Yeah.
Everything's a stepping stone, and you're clearly a guy who likes to navigate through pain. Life is chaos. It's how we get through that and how we overcome that. But for people watching who's maybe want to reach out, maybe ask you questions, what's your social media link?
My social media IG is called The Marcy Made series, all one word. My YouTube, Marcy Made series. And I'm always on there, always engaging, always doing live. I'm about to start my own podcast. So yeah, you can follow me there. Marcy Made. I got a documentary out. You can go on my page actually and look at the documentary. It's called Marcy Made. That done wonderful. If you ain't see that, that's pretty much of what we talked about. But I have my mom interviewed and also that the actual people. So check that out, man, and let me know what you think.
What about your YouTube channel?
And my YouTube channel is Marcy Made. Everything Marcy Made. Okay. Marcy Made series.
Okay.
And that's it, man. I look forward to being in the UK on a book tour, man. That'd be dope.
Yeah, definitely, brother. For anybody watching, jump over, give him a follow. My brother, would you like to finish up on anything else?
Oh, man, much love to you, man. And your podcast, you dope, man. I'm real comfortable, man. I'm glad you said to bring my A game because you definitely brought yours.
Yeah, thank you.
And it was an honor, for real.
Likewise, and I wish you nothing but the best for the future, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, and God bless.
All right, that's what's up, man. We out.